And time for Wiregrass Strong. The new coronavirus epidemic is a big problem that's expected to become bigger in the weeks and months to come. For those who are infected as well as those trying to avoid infection, these are trying times. But amid all the doom and gloom, there are some positive stories, positive messages, and reasons to remain hopeful. So every afternoon at this time, your Wiregrass Radio family of stations will come together while staying apart to help you stay informed. We're going to be seeking your input. If you're a business impacted by the virus, call and let the Wiregrass know what you are doing to continue safely providing your services or goods. And if you're a parent working hard to take care of your family, we'd love to hear how you are coping. Remember, only the facts, no hearsay or rumors, and we're trying to keep things positive. Our number is 334-699-1053, or you can join us on YouTube Live, and you can chat throughout the program. Good afternoon. A Monday afternoon, Brother Ricky Carter, B1053. This half hour is brought to you as a public service of Knight's Wrecker Service. Big or small, they do it all. 899-3257. Ashford, Dothan, and Headland. You can count on Dwayne, Terry, Caleb, Jerry, the entire family over there. Great crew. Knight's Wrecker Service allowing us this public service time to bring you Wiregrass Strong. We are streaming live on Facebook at B1053 and on YouTube at Wiregrass Radio. And we're also broadcasting on all four of our properties, WECP, WECB, WJRL Dothan, WBBK, Blakely Dothan. And I'd like to welcome our panel this afternoon. I, of course, am Ricky, man behind the mask, Carter. Miss Amy Pollard is with us from Pollard and Dave in the Morning on B1053. Good afternoon, Amy.
Hello, everybody.
And Mr. Marcus Cage from the People Station Magic 93.1. How are you today, Marcus?
Doing well, doing well.
Do you have your mask?
No.
Or facial shield or cotton wrap bandana of some sort?
No.
All right. I'm
staying 6 feet away from people.
And on our panel this afternoon, we are proud to have David Sewell. He is the superintendent of Houston County Schools. David, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
You're welcome.
And we're going to be talking also, hopefully, with Terry Sorrells of Sorrells Funeral Home in Slocum. We're going to wait for him to call in here. If not, we'll get him on another day on our panel. But he's going to look at the local business aspect of the impact the coronavirus has brought. So today we're going to spend a little time talking about Houston County Schools and how it's impacting the students, how it's impacting the faculty, and how it's impacting the community. And that's what we're going to do with David this afternoon. So, David, thank you so much for being here. First off, what right on the surface, what are the plans moving forward with online education, online continuing education, and will there be any testing or grading from here on out?
No, Ricky, there will be no testing except for students that are failing. At this moment, we're running the grades, and if you're passing, you have a passing grade. If you're failing, we will give you the option of doing makeup work either online or on packet. All students are not able to get online. They don't have a device or internet, so we had to do a blended. And we are doing this at the direction of the state. And we're calling each student and seeing what fits them the best. Now, as I said, even those that are passing, we're offering them some online instruction or packets, whichever one they prefer. Now, the only students that are doing truly online are the students that are taking dual enrollment courses through the colleges, and they're all of theirs is online at this moment.
All right. Miss Amy, do you have any questions for David? Kick things off.
What, David, do you see being the direction that you may need to go once this school year? First of all, I know there's a lot of questions about graduation. Have you guys looked into what the alternative methods for graduation are going to be if the situation stays like it is?
Well, we're hoping that once the governor's stay in place or stay at home order is over, that we'll be able to do graduation. It will be after June the 5th, but we hope to offer some type of graduation. Now, some students that have reason to need to go on, we will give them their diploma, and they will not have to walk. But most parents want to see their child walk across the stage and get a diploma, and we want to make that happen for them.
So you mentioned June 5th. What is that date? Where does the June 5th date actually come from, David?
That was sent out by the State Department, and that I need to tell everyone that is a fluid date. We're hoping that this will be over by that time, but that date came from the State Department. Superintendent Dr. Mackey.
Okay, very good.
So that is speculation at this point. Obviously, we're all praying that we'll be in the clear by June, but we don't know, obviously. Marcus?
You spoke about either doing internet or picking up packets. Now, I know a lot of areas that Houston County covers are a lot of rural areas, such as you have children that are in Quincy that may go to Webb Elementary School or to Houston County. For those who do not have internet access, is there somewhere where they can go to find out when they can pick up their packets?
Yes, we're calling every student. Most people have some type of a contact. We're calling them to see what their needs are, and we're going to do our best to meet these needs.
Excellent. I know that earlier today, Dr. Phyllis Edwards is the superintendent of Dothan Schools, had her press conference. So you can go online and check that out. She did release one today dealing with Dothan City Schools. And David, of course, representing as superintendent the Houston County Schools. And yeah, a lot of students are journeying on to college and on to other things. And parents would certainly love to see their child walk the stage and receive the diploma, but we understand June 5th. David, that is a monumental task, I think. I guess every teacher, every group of teachers is responsible to reach out to their students and find out, assess their abilities, whether online or packet delivery or something like that.
Yes, these phone calls will begin on Wednesday, and they'll continue until we have contacted every parent or every child, and we're going to try to make it as easy for them as possible.
Excellent. How much direction have you got from the State Board of Education, and how much leeway do you have as an individual county? I know that a lot of things come down federally, and then they come down via state, and then you have certain leeway.
Well, we were able to choose the delivery by best what suited us. That's the reason why we have a blended. The state said either or. We could do either or we could do a combination of both, and that's what we're doing. You were correct in saying that a lot of things came down from the feds. They canceled all testing. There's no testing, and the feds passed that down to the state, and the state passed that down to us. All the testing for the year is over. And but like I said, they wanted to do what best suited us or our students, and that's the reason why we are doing a blended type. Because some students have online, they're able to do it manually, and we have several different options. We have printed packets, and there are some online things that our students can do.
What are you finding, David, is your biggest challenge right now, or besides, what you're talking about, working on finishing up with the packets or the online opportunities? But what might be your biggest concern right now outside of that?
Keeping our students and our staff safe. We're doing our best to keep them out of the schools. You mentioned masks. We're letting our teachers wear masks if they come on campus. We are not requiring them to come on campus, and we're trying to keep the students away from campus, so
Right.
that there'll be very, very little contact. But things change within a day.
Right.
Saturday when the governor put the stay in place or the stay at home order, that changed a lot of things. It just changes in a heartbeat.
Well, let me ask you this from some of the concern that some of the parents might have upon returning to the schools. What is Houston County's plan, or do you have a plan in place yet for disinfecting and getting in and cleaning up the schools before children do return?
We have we've already gone through the schools and disinfected all of our schools one time. We completely closed the schools for a week. We did not let anybody on the campus, and we went in and sanitized. We sprayed it, and we're continuing to do this once a week, every day, as often as deemed necessary. We have our custodians going through and wiping everything down. And at the end of the year or whatever, when we determine that it's over, we will go through again and disinfect it and sanitize everything before we let our students back in. But I want to go back to one of the questions earlier. There's so many things that we're having to wait. You mentioned graduation. This happened right before prom. Most
Right.
students, they want to do it. They want a prom, and we want to let them have a prom. And like I said, we just going to have to wait until a time when we can do this safely. We want the students to be able to come back on campus and get their personal items and turn in the books. There are so many things that you're used to doing at the end of the year that the students aren't having a chance to do.
It's such new territory. Obviously, there's no guidelines for this, and every day is new and presents new challenges. My question to you, David, would be the impact on your school workforce, the payroll, the impact, the jobs, bus drivers, nutritionists, lunchroom, nurse, things. How has that impacted you?
Right now, the state has not stopped the payments. The teachers are still on the payroll. They're still active. Like I said, they're busy getting together packets and calling the students, and they'll be busy grading. We once the governor's order about the stay at home is over, we're going to have to look at a way of getting the report cards out to the students or to the parents. There are field trips that we had to cancel, and we're going to have to get refunds. Students that have taken medications, we're going to have to let them come on campus to pick up their medications. There's so many things that need to be done, but you have to do them in a way that's safe. We don't want to put our staff in harm's way. In fact, the schedules that we have where the teachers can come on campus, we're doing it where they will not congregate, and they'll be spread out, because what we've been told is distance between each other is what to keep this virus from spreading. So we're doing it where they will not congregate, and no one will be around them.
Right.
And so there's, and when they have to, we're asking to wear a mask and gloves.
Marcus, you have school age children. Are they Houston County schools or a city school?
Actually, they used to be county schools, but now they're in the city. But I do want to go back and ask about when you were talking about children that may have failing grades at this point. If they are not able to pick those grades up by the end of the school year, are there any type of summer classes that they can be able to take, if allowable, to try to pass that class that they may have failed?
Well, we're still waiting to hear from the state. The state, they kind of govern our summer school, because we use Access, which is an online product, to do our high school summer school. So we use their dates, and for all of them, as I stated earlier, that June 5th date is not set in stone, and so it will depend a great deal on when we're able to get back into school and get everything cranked back up. If we have time to do the summer school, we're one of the few systems in our area that does a summer school, but we're hoping for students that need summer school that we will be able to offer it. But now, again, until we get the go ahead from the State Department that everything is all clear, we can't say because of the date and the time constraints.
David, I had a question. Doing a little bit of forward thinking, and this is definitely an unprecedented time for all of us in many facets of life. But certainly, when our children that are school age get ready to head back to school, doing things back to normal, most of us are realizing that our normal will be new when the children return back to school. Do y'all have a protocol, or are you getting one into place that would address, sickness, with children in the school? If there were to be any relapses, you see some of the research saying that this is something that could be with us to stay, even as we go into the fall of the year. Have you guys been forward thinking about a protocol being put into place for this in case we do have to deal with it again later on in the year?
We don't have one at this time, but we are developing it. And again, there's a lot of unknowns. We were talking today. I met with the principals. Our start date is August the 3rd. I don't know if the state will let us continue to have that date, or if they'll make us do a new school calendar. There'd already been a lot of push about starting around Labor Day. I don't know if the state's thinking will be a later start date or a sooner start date to allow us more time to do some recovery. But I do know that we have a strong nursing force and also the counseling. But now I have heard the same thing that you have, that this could be a seasonal thing in the future. But again, I only hope that our people in the science and the field of medicine can come up with a vaccine or something along that line to lessen the effects, like the flu or these things. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
Well, I was just going to say, but we're starting to think about a protocol for the future. Is what I was going to say.
You're listening to Wiregrass Strong on all four of our properties, WESP, WECB, WJRL, and WBBK. We have a caller on the line. We want to thank David Sewell, Superintendent of Houston County Schools, for being with us today. Can you hang around for the phone call, David?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and take that phone call now. This is Jesse in Cottonwood. Good afternoon, Jesse.
Good afternoon.
Do you have a question for the panel or Dr. Sewell?
I got a question for David. Hey, David, I'm your neighbor down the road. You know who I am.
Yes. Good to hear from you.
I got a 16-year-old son. You know, he works on a farm down here. And what if y'all can't get in touch with the students that's got part-time jobs, you know, to let them know about the online stuff?
Yeah. There should be several contacts on his page, and actually we would be contacting you. I say the student, we would actually be calling the parent. And
Okay.
if we did not get an answer with the first one, we'd go down the list, and we would continue to call until someone was contacted.
Okay. You just answered my question. I sure appreciate your time, David.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you,
Y'all
Jesse.
have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You too.
Jesse from Cottonwood. Our phone number is 699-1053, 699-1053. If you'd like to call in. I think David said he had to go in about 15 minutes. He's been on with us for about 20 minutes today, and we thank you for your time, David. If you want to hang around 10 minutes, that's fine. If not, if you have to go, we certainly appreciate it. I want to remind you we're streaming live on Facebook at B1053 and on YouTube at Wiregrass Radio. And we'd like to thank our media partners at News 4 and WRGX. Again, online, released just today, Dr. Phyllis Edwards of Dothan City Schools released her press conference. So if you're a Dothan City School student parent and you'd like the information on Dothan schools, that was released today online. You can go to, I think it's City of Dothan, and then go to the schools, and you'll be carried right there.
Now, I would like to say our plan is posted on our website, and all the packets that are for the students will be on the school's websites. You know, a lot of the information that the parent or the student may need is going to be on our websites or the school's website.
What is that website for the Houston County overall, David?
www.hcboe.us.
HCBOE, Houston County Board of Education.us. Thank you so much for joining us today, David.
And
Mark, do
like
you
I
have
said,
any follow-on questions?
Well, just one quick question. David, what is one of your major concerns with us being this far into the school year? Do you have any major concerns that are going on that may not have been addressed or that are being addressed?
well, I have a lot of major concerns. I'm worried about the staff and the students. I believe that this is a lot worse than some people are taking. It could be pretty serious. And for our high school students, they were just getting into the last 9 weeks, and you know, in some of the math courses and others, they're going to be missing out on some of the objectives. For most of our elementary students, they had pretty much covered the objectives because it was time to start the testing. That's one of the things we're missing out on. And some of the programs that were supposed to start next year will not be able to start because we will not have the testing data. In fact, the grades for the report card, the A to F report card on the schools will be the same next year because there will be no new data. And like I said, some of the programs for summer school, for instance, it's hard to say anything because we don't know yet when this will be over.
Right.
When the governor said that, stay at home on April 30th, she was just guessing. That's nothing set in stone.
Sure.
And whenever Dr. Mackey said June the 5th, that's not set in stone. We could be pushing out much longer. If to answer Mr. Cage's question a while ago, we plan on having summer school if we have time.
Right.
We would love to have summer school. We're one of the few systems to teach driver's ed during the summer. A lot of students want to take driver's ed. Well, you have to have a certain amount of time to get the driving in, but if we can't start because, we're still in the middle of this epidemic, we can't do it. So, it's a lot of wait and see, and we'll try.
Here's a
one final question is,
yeah, go ahead.
What would you suggest that parents do during this time that can be very helpful for them preparing for the next school year?
To pick up these packets or to go online. These packets are being developed according to the standards and the objectives that they'll need next year. And they can work on these packets, and they can send them back to be graded or to check. If they'll be graded if the student needs it for a grade to pass. But it'll be checked just if the student is passing. We have several teachers that have developed an electronic packet, which will grade itself. So we're trying to cover everything and make everything affordable to the student, to their needs. Not all of our students have access to a computer or device, because some of these programs will not run on a smartphone. But now they can download them, or if they really need them printed, we will print them for the students, and they can make an appointment and pick them up.
Very good.
All right. A serious thought is this thing could go so long as to impact the beginning of the next school year. And let's pray that doesn't happen. I just pray that maybe that June 5th date is a date we can work with David and get them on stage, get them graduated, have a prom, move them on down the line and furthering education or on to a vocation. And I want to thank you, David, this afternoon for being with us. David Sewell, our guest superintendent of Houston County Schools. Any last words, David?
I just pray that our students and our staff will be safe, and none of them will get sick from this virus.
Amen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, David, for being with us. And we'll check in again with you as this thing progresses. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
All right, Mr. David Sewell of the Houston County Schools, the superintendent over there. Terry Sorrells of Sorrells Funeral Home. We didn't get him in this afternoon, but
we'll reschedule for later this week for sure.
Program is always available to him, and we look forward to talking with him about the impact to local businesses.
Guys, I was just reviewing quickly over some of the Houston County numbers in case we aren't up to date. According to the Alabama Public Health website, we are now showing some cases for Geneva County, or a case, at least in Geneva County. We're showing a marker for Geneva County. Now,
that was the last remaining county in Alabama holdout without a case.
Yes, it was. And to give you an idea, well, now still we're showing here on the as of 5/29, we've got 0 confirmed cases in Geneva County. The blue dot is showing on the map, but on the left side, we're showing 0 confirmed cases. We have 31 total tests for Geneva County. So I may have misspoke as far as it's showing a blue dot, but we're not showing the stat. I'll say that. Houston County.
Hey, Amy.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Finish. I'll ask you.
Houston County, we do have 24 confirmed cases and 183 total tests for Houston County, 1 reported death. We could see that number change in the next 24 hours for that, guys. But confirmed cases for the state of Alabama total, 1,999, just under 2,000, with 52 reported deaths and 32 that have died from the actual illness confirmed.
Now, I also was on WTVY's website, and they had a story that Flowers and Southeast Medical had released their numbers of testing and confirmed, and they show a whole lot different numbers from what
from the state.
Right, from the state
Yeah,
for Houston County.
Honestly, Marcus, I think a lot of what that is, the best I've been able to get from that, that's why I said we'll probably see those numbers change on the
Right.
Alabama Department of Health, is because there is a lag in getting the information from our local hospitals to the actual site that we're using as the dashboard for Alabama Department of Public Health. So if we continue to watch that, we will most certainly see those numbers change as they begin to get updated between the communication from the hospitals to the actual dashboard.
Right. And one other thing that may be happening also, just in case people are comparing the two, is some of those cases that have been confirmed in our hospitals here in Dothan may not be from Houston County. So we don't get counted in Houston County for the cases that have been confirmed. It will go
If
to
they
the
travel
county.
in, yes.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this Wiregrass Strong on a Monday afternoon, week 3 of our Wiregrass Strong program, bringing you information here on all 4 of our radio stations: Rock 100.5, the People Station Magic 93.1, Dothan's Country B1053, and Dothan's Greatest Hits 102.5 The Q. We thank you for joining us. Thank you, Amy. You can catch her tomorrow morning, Amy Pollard with Pollard and Dave, B1053 from 6 to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, broadcasting live on Facebook at B1053 and YouTube at Wiregrass Radio. And Mr. Marcus Cage, you'll catch him tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on Magic 93.1. I want to thank you all for being with us today. And our guest tomorrow will be Steve Parrish, the police chief of Dothan. He'll be in here with me and Dave Gilligan. So be sure and join us tomorrow. Amy, Marcus, thank you so much for being here with us. And that's going to do it for Wiregrass Strong. At this time, we return you to normal programming.